So don't we look great? We're trying out our new microphone and it's not connected to the phone, which is why I'm doing a voiceover for this video. But stick around because we're going to be talking with a local lender, Jeremy Minson, who is a lender that we use and have a relationship with. Stick around and see what he has to say. Welcome back to the Living in Sedona channel. As promised, we are here with a local lender. This is Jeremy Minson. He is a loan officer with Guaranteed Rate Affinity.
Yes.
And full disclosure, we are affiliated with him. And so we want to be open and honest and upfront about that, so you know that we do work with him and have a business relationship with him as Coldwell Banker agents. So welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Glad to be here on the channel.
Speak just a little bit on the importance of what you bring to the table.
Sure. So there's a couple different caveats, right? But the first thing is that for the most part, this is going to be one of the largest financial decisions you may make in your entire life. You may have bought and sold homes over the last 10 years. You may have been involved in several transactions, but at the end of the day, it's all about accountability, right? You want to work with people that can get you to the finish line for your goals and your desires. And so partnering with Cami and Clara is going to help you find the home that you're wanting, whether it's a secondary home, an investment property, or whether you're relocating, it's going to be your primary residence. You want somebody that's familiar with the market and is an expert in the market to find you what you want. Then on the financing aspect of it, you need to work with someone who's going to understand not only your long-term financial goals, but what are your short-term and intermediate-term goals to be able to find you a property that, one, is going to work for you, but two, is going to have financing solutions that's going to work for you to be able to blend in with the rest of your portfolio.
Another item that we've also come across is don't necessarily have a 9-to-5 job. Some people are self-employed, or
Sure.
they have to seek financing in different ways. Example of what you've been able to do in the past.
Yeah, so as you both know, Sedona is a very eclectic market, right? I mean, we have a lot of affluent individuals relocating here, and there's also individuals who are just simply looking to upgrade. And so when it comes to that, especially in terms of financing, a lot of individuals may be self-employed, or they may need a creative form of financing, because if you're self-employed, ultimately, at the end of the day, you're trying to pay as little in taxes as possible, correct? So we have different loan programs where we're not trying to fit you inside this little minute box. We're trying to explore different financing options, such as a bank statement loan, maybe a DSCR loan, which is a debt service coverage ratio loan, especially if you're an investor, where we're not even factoring any of your other properties. We're just looking at the cash flow of this property in Sedona, if this may be a second home or an investment property. So yeah, we absolutely have to think outside the box, because this is such an eclectic market that we have up here in Sedona.
What would you say to that buyer and maybe the seller that's on the fence for, should I buy, should I list, maybe I should wait? What do you say to those people that are just not sure what to do?
Sure. So the hot button item is uncertainty, right? What do we do with the market where it's currently at? What do we do with the state of the current economy? With everything we see in today's media, all we hear is doom and gloom,
Yeah.
right? And it's, hey, don't pull the trigger, like sit back and let the market determine where it's going to go, which in theory, you would think that would be a smart decision. But if you're just like everybody else, you're waiting on that same exact thing. So you have an overwhelming amount of demand who's only waiting for affordability become more prevalent. What I mean by that is interest rates to come down just a little bit, maybe 1%. This demand is still here. It still has the appetite, but right now it just can't afford to buy a home because of where rates are. Well, that's fine if you want to wait. The issue is if you want to execute when rates come down, so does everybody else. So we're going to find ourselves in an environment where, yeah, you may be able to get a lower interest rate, but we may be experiencing where you're paying $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 over a list because everybody is now waiting for that exact same dream scenario. So the real thing is just take the higher rate now. It's unfortunate. Nobody wants the higher rate, but there are creative ways where you can go about financing. That's where an experienced agent can come into play, such as temporary buy downs, which can really help out with your affordability in the first couple of years of ownership. But if you can pull the trigger now on a property with a slightly higher rate, you can just refinance in 6 months to 12 months when rates come down. It's a lot easier to find the home you love and refinance than to wait for rates to come down and then somehow find that same home that you wanted, because it was probably already purchased by somebody else who was ready to get off the fence and become a buyer.
So it almost makes me think of the old quote that says, are you moving with the crowd or are you going the opposite direction? Because typically the one that goes the opposite direction has the better outcome.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's all I'm going to say. I'm just going to end it right there.
The other thing too that somebody had mentioned to me in the past was date the rate, marry the home. Marry the home. So keep that in mind.
Did you say that?
I may have said that once or twice, but a lot of other loan officers have said that thing because it's absolutely true, right? The rate is temporary.
Right.
But the home is a forever. If I have price appreciation, if I see future cash flow perspectives, if it's an investment property, and it meets maybe 75% of my needs and desires, I'm going to pull the trigger knowing long term it's a smart financial decision. And I'm going to stop paying so much attention to the short-term narrative that I see in the market and the media.
Hopefully this video was informative for you. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. Please give us comments, like, subscribe, share, and make it a great day.